name is Candace Montoya. I am 38 years old. I am an education manager currently with Clayton Early Learning. I've been in education for 20 years. A little bit about me, I like to be outside all the time. I love to be intentional in all the work that I do. I hope to go back to school to get my master's, become fully bilingual, and just do work that's meaningful and also impactful considering the climate that we're currently living in. So, my work and connection to the next and up and coming generations is extremely meaningful for me in education. So, a lot of the reason why I'm transitioning back into the classroom is simply because I just want to do more impactful work. I want to empower children. I want to connect and provide empathy and collaboration and community within the classroom, within the context of the school. I really just want to do meaningful work. So that's just a little bit about me and kind of what brought me to this situation currently. So on the first question, like what draws me to be an educator in a school that serves students from historically resilient communities? So um, I'm from Colorado. I've been here my entire life, and I've typically worked in nonprofit school, Head Start. I was a Head Start parent. I was a young teen mom in poverty, and I went to Head Start and I stayed there. And I've developed a beautiful career over there. And what that has taught me is that it is within the ability of the humans around us to connect and collaboratively. Gather the resources, gather the necessary materials that we need so that we can build better, build back, build all the things that need to, provide for us to sustain for the up and coming generations, right? So in Head Start, typically we are placed in communities where the demographic is very different from the others. I guess not anymore now with the political climate, but more in impoverished areas or areas of higher need, maybe migrant families or migrant work. So it typically is communities that already historically have hardship and barriers in front of them. And so also being from these cultures makes me even more inept to then go in and work specifically with these communities because I know the barriers they're encountering. I understand the historical complexity and the demands that have been put on these individuals and what it's taken to become a resilient human, a resilient community, a resilient culture. And it's something I deeply, truly believe in. So, because it's at the core of my being, because it's who I am growing up, because I benefited from these communities being in place and developing programs that provide resilience for the individuals involved, it innately became something I always want to continue to work into my practice. My goal is to always serve where the need is greater because I want to have a true impact with anybody I encounter, but specifically for these individual communities and groups of people that typically have more barriers in front of them. So it's definitely something within my being. Who was the best manager supervisor I've ever worked with? I've had a few great mentors, managers. I've worked across a lot of different Head Start programs in different counties, but in the beginning of my practice, there was a woman that I worked with. Her name was Lorraine Bernal. She was one of the best supervisors because she trusted me. She trusted that I loved my work. She trusted that I was passionate. She trusted that I knew what I was doing and that I wanted what was best for children. And she let me do my work. And I did it effectively and efficiently. And she's been a lifelong friend and a mentor for me throughout the entirety of my career. So we're still friends to this day. So I was a young teacher and she believed in me. So that was a lot of why that worked out. And then I had another really great supervisor. Unfortunately, he just passed away. So I was working for Adams County Head Start, and I was in a school that I wasn't really being treated fairly. But I didn't complain. I didn't really know that I wasn't being treated fairly. I just kept working. And then the new supervisor came in, and he had awarded me the raise that he felt that I was due when I didn't get allotted that raise under this other group of individuals, because he really saw me for who I was. He saw my work ethic. He saw my passion, my love for children. And he even told me, and I get emotional because he was so amazing. He was like, "You're the only one here doing it right." And I was like, "Well, because doing it right makes a difference." You know what I mean? So he motivated me to stay. I ended up staying there for 5 years under him. I felt like he just, again, he believed in me, and he also, he just saw me for who I was and realized that maybe the circumstances weren't at their best, but he didn't come in with that preconceived notion. He came in to see who I was, and his way of being helped me to develop a way of being that is encompassing of the whole person, right? Not just my first impression or individual aspects or favoritism. Like, it really helped me to see the bigger picture, the larger view of life. I learned a lot under him. He was a professor, so he helped me with my homework. He came in and actually was in my classroom. He worked with children. He had a child with a disability, so he just advocated for us. He was just great. So yes, he's great. um, and tell us the last time you learned something new. So I learn something new every single day. I have been in education, like I said, for 20 years, but I moved in and out from infant, toddler, preschool. Predominantly preschool is my background, but I did move in and out of different positions. I was an education coach. I was a mentor. I'm a manager. And I've pretty much, used all the positions. No, not used, I can't say that. I have pretty much grown into all the positions in a Head Start program that I am qualified for or that I'm interested in, and I find myself circling right back around to the classroom. And everything that I learned along the way when I was a behavior coach, I was also a supervised visitation facilitator for the courts. I was a director. All of these things that I learned throughout this journey helped me to become who I am, and I'm still not done developing. I don't know who I'm going to become. And so I hope that every day is a learning experience so that then the next day I don't have to encounter the same hardships, or I have a little bit of reflection on what didn't or did go well. I believe that if we're constantly learning, we don't get bored, we don't stop trying, we do stay brave, and we stay relevant. And so it's for me to continually learn. And I've been doing that since my very first days in Head Start. I'm currently at UCD, enrolled in a master's program. I'm finishing up the coaching courses. I'm in it's my last semester of the first year of my master's program. It was a transformational coaching course, and then I'm going to move into my master's program. So I'm really excited about that. And again, I do take Spanish courses when I have time. And so I'm moderately speak Spanish, probably enough to communicate with children and families at a very minimal level. Children more than anything, probably a proficiency of about a 5-year-old. And I understand more than I can speak, so I hope to continue to grow and learn in that aspect. So yeah, I mean, any way that I can become the best human that I can be, to then in turn create the best humans, and really pull potential, because we all have it. So that's kind of why I'm here, why I'm hoping to get back in the classroom. I'm hoping to do work that's truly meaningful to my heart and soul. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thanks so much.